And again, we have to break down things like what Nancy Pelosi just said. I mean, my goodness. So
they like. All right, they talking about what Nancy Pelosi just said. I'm going to back it up to what was said by Nancy, because I think you guys need to hear this, because I am like, I'm fucking, I'm deeply disturbed by what the fuck's going on. Do y'all not see these videos going around where these motherfuckers are jumping out with these fucking rifles and handguns, taking over buildings, jumping out on corners, jacking motherfuckers just walking across the street? They jumping out cars 4 or 5 deep with artillery and shit. Yo, you mean to motherfucking tell me you hate that white man so much that you willing to let shit like this slide just to pull this fake in for symbolism? Symbolism? Oh, when you want to see the first black woman president, and it wouldn't be great to see her sworn in by a black justice, a Katanji. Yo, what the fuck wrong with y'all? I'm sorry. What is wrong with y'all? I don't know. I don't know if they're going to block me, shadow ban me. I don't give a damn. Look, if you can honestly sit here and tell me you will still vote for this last type of 4 years that we just had, just because you hate Donald Trump, you willing to let socialism in? These people are literally telling you to your face, fuck you. They're telling you, fuck you. Fuck you without the grease. Without the grease. No grease. No, just straight impromptu. Motherfucker just running up on you and sticking the shit in your ass. Sorry, no. Sticking the, allegedly. But, I don't know how this thing works. Look, I had to get on here because I can't believe you guys are literally seeing an actual invasion happen within. You see, they tried this shit. They tried this in 2020. They tried this in 2020 with the BLM riots, with the George Floyd. And they wanted us to do it to each other, the white people, the black people. But they did not see that we was going to band together with our white brothers and American sisters as black people, as all Americans, not black, not white, American human beings. The Democratic Party is literally telling all of us in our faces, including their own pundits, their own constituents, that we are going to take care of all the criminal activity that you see going on, and we're going to pay them. We're busting them in. We're flying them in. They're walking in. We're paying them. We're housing them. We're feeding them. And we're giving them guns. You telling me all our veterans that fought for this country, they couldn't get them off the street? They couldn't give them that money? Them, not even me. Not me. Them. Are you listening? Are you on some penny Annie high school, junior high school, hot girl, or bullshit? People, especially these black people of mine, you're wondering why we voting for him? Because we got common sense. You can't look at these videos and see? That's going to be in your backyard. That's coming to you. What do you need? And you got Joy Reid talking crap, lying. See, they leave out shit. They say, oh, he was sued for this. He's was sued for this, and his father was sued for racism by the federal government because of this. Being sued and being convicted, two different things. See, she didn't finish it. They never found him liable for whatever the suit was about. Doesn't that make a difference? But anyway, let's get back into this. I need y'all to really see how this Democratic Party don't give a damn about you.
Still here. He's running. I mean, damn it. They even tried to kill the man.
Yeah, they did. I mean, it's absurd.
Oh, that's another thing. Nobody's talking about that no more. They just tried to shoot this man, but nobody's talking about it. Nobody. And then, you know what? I got a fact check the other day because I put the picture up of him saying fight, fight, fight. And guess what? Oh, this is false information. It's been fact checked. This is not true. What?
Third, all that he has gone through, and we see that it was a bunch.
Let's see. Let's go back a little bit here.
Regarding, again,
this is our people pop in politics. Let me back this up and see where we can go so you can see what we're talking about here. I don't even want to give this chick. You know what? It's not even her I want to talk about too much. I'll go back to her ass. But I think I want y'all to see Nancy Pelosi here. Here we go. You need to see her on Bill Maher. This woman, after you see this, if you still vote for Kamala, you deserve everything you get.
So this is ridiculous what she's talking about doing here. Let me see here. Take a look at this.
The California lawmakers just passed a law. It hasn't been signed by Governor Newsom, but giving government assistance to undocumented immigrants to buy houses. Mm-hmm. That's kind of a different place than the Democratic Party used to be on immigration. Is it not? I'm not going to say that's what the country's going to do, but that's certainly where California is.
Well, let me just say, immigration had always been a bipartisan issue. I refer you to...
But not free houses.
Well, that's not free housing. It's the American dream being available to more people. But understand this about immigration. The best speech on immigration was by President Ronald Reagan. This is the last speech I will make as President of the United States. I want to communicate a message to the country I love. And he talked about the Statue of Liberty and the beacon of hope it is to the world, and what America was preeminent in the world because our door was always open, and we will cease to be preeminent when we shut the door. Now, I don't do justice to the great communicator. Google it. It's a fabulous speech. And George Herbert Walker Bush continued in that respect for the diversity of America and the rest. California's always in the lead. Maybe others will follow that lead, but that's up to those states. But we're very blessed here with beautiful diversity.
So you'd vote for this law?
Excuse me?
So you'd vote for this law?
Well, I'm not familiar with exactly what it is, but making the American dream of home ownership available to all people is something we have to do for people who are here now.
This is before your residency. This is undocumented. This is for the undocumented.
Well, what I would like to do is move them to documented. Is that one of the best things that we can do for our economy is to pass comprehensive immigration reform.
Wow.
I'm right there with her. Yo. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? She just told us to our face. She didn't even acknowledge the American people. She's like, they're working for the outside. Look, they are starting this war from within. They're bringing people so they can start the war from within with the immigrants. They tried to do it in 2020. We would not do it to each other, even through the BLM riots, even through that George Floyd bullshit. They made him a martyr. I don't have nothing against the man, but the man did not deserve to become a martyr. He was used as a political football. I'm not even going there. They are trying to create the civil war. They couldn't do it between us. They did the BLM riots. They did the George Floyd. Nothing. They rigged the election. Okay? The election was rigged. We all know it. We've been getting information. They can't find this, can't find that. This is missing. That is missing. All right, we know that. So now with 2024, they are blatantly in our faces telling us, F you. F you. F your mama, daddy, your ancestry, your history, your care, whatever, the ancestry.com, everything. They said F everything about you. We bringing in new people and we're going to take care of them. F everybody here. They're arming these people and they are on these streets. They're in Chicago. They're in Colorado. They are in New York. And then I believe they are in California. Hell's Angels is on the way to Colorado. Get busy. Every time I see those posts, I get chills. I love seeing my American people stand up. Get your guns. Get your protection. Be careful walking through them streets. They jumping out of cars on people. I'm going to pull it up for you. I want you to see it. But did you hear that?
All right. You can't get me clearer than that.
Nope.
We're losing our country, folks. Shelly, what are your thoughts here?
Again, we talked about this before. She made a point about basically President Ronald Reagan and George Bush when some Republicans have signed bills to allow what they call legal amnesty or amnesty for illegals. I disagree with that. Now, granted, that was done. However, she has misrepresented President Reagan, basically insinuating that he's saying, oh, all illegals just come and, flood our country and you'll be welcome here. That is not what he said. That is not what he advocated. Getting people legal, making them legal while they're already here is one thing, but inviting illegals to come and to still be illegal, that's a whole different.
And they're not just inviting them. They're flying them in. They're busting them in. They're arming them. They're paying them. They're feeding them. They're doing everything that with our money. If there's been any time that we all supposed to not go to work or stop everything, now is the time. Vote Trump in. RFK joined him. Come on, man. I don't know. Socialism leading to complete communism or us getting back to what it's really about. They lied to you about that, man. They lied to you and you believed it. Democrats bought and paid for media.
Thought, and that's what she's doing. Like Joy Reid, she is misconstruing on purpose what she's saying.
Yeah. First of all, that was a totally different time as well. We have embarked on a time period right now where we have been overrun by illegals. I mean,
we are invaded. It's invaded. We have been invaded. Reagan and everybody who signed all those bills back then when I was 10, 7, 8, I'm 52 now. It didn't, you think we had, I know Chicago gets shot up all the time, okay? That shit ain't funny. I'm not laughing at that. What I'm laughing at is the fact that you mean to tell me you think if they would have seen what they see right now with these Venezuelan motherfuckers out here jumping out cars, robbing people, shooting shit up, you think Ronald Reagan and them be like, leave the border open? They wouldn't. This is unprecedented. This is unprecedented.
border and things like that. We didn't have these issues when Reagan was in, not even when Bush was in, not as bad as it is right now. And so, for her to make that statement, and again, Reagan was not talking about illegals. He was not talking about illegals. I want to get your thoughts on this, Yana.
It's embarrassing. The fact that this lady is talking about comparing Reagan and his speech about immigrants who were coming to this country to make it their new home, to be Americans, and who actually came here and they worked really hard for things that they wanted. They were not just given things. Like, that was never the case. I mean, the first people who settled, some of the first people who settled here, they actually had to come as indentured servants, and they had to work for free in order to stay here. And so immigrants later on, I mean, they lived in very poor conditions just to make it. And now, I mean, she's advertising to the whole world that just come here, we'll give you a house, and then we'll make you legal. So, like, you come here legally, you break the law, and then we make you legal. So she's advertising her like it's like a commercial, for Democrats. Come here, we'll make you legal, and then you're gonna vote for us.
Yeah, this is scary. I mean, I think she even shocked Bill Maher because he was not expecting her to take that stance. He was trying to make a difference between legal and illegal. He was like, but they're undocumented. And she was like, well, I want to make the undocumented legal. I want to make them documented. I mean, he was even shocked. He had to ask her. He was like, you're not saying that this is what you want the country, the whole country to do, because he was saying this is happening in California. Kamala's California. Kamala Harris will want to do this. She's going to do this. And he's saying you're not saying you want this for the whole country. Pelosi's saying yes, we do. That's not the American dream. Is about freedom. It's about fighting for your rights. It's about fighting for what is yours. I mean, and again, we're going to talk about this. We watched that Reagan movie, and they were about hard work. It's not just you come here, you take and just take. It's not about that.
Yeah, another way she's misconstruing what President Reagan and other Republicans, agree. Again, amnesty in the United States was one thing, but their whole, definitely President Reagan, one of his main themes of being a president was spreading freedom around the world. Therefore, if other countries, particularly the Soviet Union, if you break down the walls of communism, you can spur economic and social freedom in your country, then there's no need for you to come to America illegally, because you will have those opportunities in your countries. Mm-hmm. Your countries will be built up from a capitalist model. You will have the freedom, the finances to support your country, your family in your country, to make your countries better. So this is a whole misconstruing of the whole theme, if you will, particularly of President Reagan's presidency, or maybe his life.
Absolutely.
Well, I mean, about that, so Kamala said something also about going to other countries and somehow helping them and their economies, so the people don't come here. I don't think that's a good idea. Like, I don't really agree with that. Like, I don't think it's America's responsibility to go to other countries and help them in anything. It's their job, their responsibility to take care of their economies, of make their choices, regardless of who the leader is. I think that a country can choose to have a communist president, a communist leader. That's their choice. Like, that's democracy. They will realize eventually their mistake. Like, that's what's going on in Venezuela and in Cuba. So I don't think it was really right for America to go and try to change regimes. Like I don't agree with that.
And we have a snippet of the Reagan speech. I want you guys.
Let me tell you, this is the 80s and shit, right? What I'm seeing right now, she talked about Cuba. I'm thinking about Scarface, the movie. That whole time frame. I think this is what this is that during that time frame where Reagan was on too. But let me tell you this. This oh, that's my baby. This he's posting. I want to see. But anyway, the Scarface saga was based on that Cuban thing. Fidel Castro, the jails, everybody came out. America was involved in all this shit. So here's what I'm saying. What I'm seeing right now, how these motherfuckers is invading from the inside, is reminding me of the final scene in Scarface when Sosa sent the gang on this dude. He sent the army. Motherfuckers climbing walls, climbing windows. Yo, they were still coming. Even after the full shootout, where he took out a few of them, a lot of them. Even after that, they were still coming. They were still coming. He took out a whole country, I think. That's how they invading. They coming into the United States and they gonna run up on us like they ran up on that man because he didn't kill that leader. So I'm gonna let you finish the rest of this though. I want y'all to hear this.
I have to take a look at this. Here it is.
Sure that we can identify the illegal aliens, but also, while some keep protesting about what it would do to employers, there is another employer that we shouldn't be so concerned about. And these are employers down through the years who have encouraged the illegal entry into this country because they then hire these individuals and hire them at starvation wages and with none of the benefits that we think are normal and natural for workers in our country. And the individuals can't complain because of their illegal status. We don't think that those people should be allowed to continue operating free. And this was why the provisions that we had in with regard to sanctions and so forth. And I'm going to do everything I can, and all of us in the administration are, to join in again when Congress is back at it, to get an immigration bill that will give us once again control of our borders. And with regard to friendship below the border and with the countries down there, yes, no administration that I know has established the relationship that we have with our Latin friends. But as long as they have an economy that leaves so many people in dire poverty and unemployment, they are going to seek that employment across our borders, and we work with those other countries.
Okay.
President Reagan.
Yeah, and that was a different speech, but again, it's along the same lines of what we are saying. And this is a different time.
Yeah,
and this is not, Kamala Harris and the Democrats are not talking about that. They're literally talking about bringing in millions of undocumented, illegal immigrants to vote for them. And then they want to push communism on them and the entire country. This is what this is. And as we know, Ronald Reagan was largely against communism. He fought for freedom. And so this is what they're trying to do. This is what they're trying to remake our country. This is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And he even said we still have to protect our borders. He even said that. He even just said basically, their country, if they had the economic development, then their country will thrive too. So he's basically saying that again, the amnesty when you were already here, the amnesty for the illegals who were already in the country is different than allowing and opening the borders to just come on in and take over. That's two different things. There was a healthy debate among Republicans, conservatives, Democrats, liberals. There was a healthy debate at that time against the Republicans, for the Republicans, when they put forth the amnesty bill. But they never were they saying open the borders.
Right. And never has it been this bad. I mean, at this point, we cannot even, do any type of amnesty for people who have
because they'll keep on coming. They will keep on coming. So it's like it's gonna be endless.
Right.
You have to stop the flow.
Right. Right.
And the only way to stop it is to have that wall, to have really good border security, and also stop saying that there's gonna be literally like incentives for them to come here, because then more and more people, like a person will risk their life to cross that desert and the river and all that horrible things that are happening there in order to get a free house in America. Like,
yeah.
Of course.
And we have a homeless issue going on right now in cities across the country. I mean, inflation is skyrocketing. Americans need help. Not to say, this is even a good plan, but again, they're talking about giving up to $150,000 to illegals, undocumented illegals in California for homes. Help me understand, why would anyone vote for these people? We are in dire needs right now in our country. Many people, hardworking Americans, are struggling, and they want to give Nancy Pelosi, Kamala Harris, all of them want to give our hardworking tax-paying dollars to illegals.
And while they have been doing it, they're definitely doing it in New York, in Chicago, in California. They are doing it. And again, until the American people stand up and say enough, no more will our money, go wherever you want it to go. No, you're going to have to give an account to us. It's going to have to be the other way around, not us just, saying, okay, we got to give you a list of every damn thing that we make every year down to the penny. Because if you you mispay your taxes for some reason, just a legitimate mistake, by the end of the year, you're getting letters from the IRS saying you owe this plus interest and penalties.
Yeah, it's terrible. It is terrible what they're doing. And this is why we're here. We want to, I know people say, oh, I don't want to watch MSNBC and things like this. We have to watch it, because what's happening is the media is spreading these lies.
Yeah, we gotta catch it.
Across all streams of news, and people unfortunately are believing it. They're believing this stuff. So we have to look at this stuff, and we have to fact check it and debunk it, because if not, this stuff will be spread like it's true. And again, we have to break down things like what Nancy Pelosi just said. I mean, my goodness. So
these are like that sounds like an enemy of this country. Like when I was listening, and especially after watching the Reagan movie, I'm like, is she a plant? Who is she working for? Sometimes I wonder, these people who are in our government, like whose agents are they?
Oh, absolutely. And that takes us to the Reagan movie that we saw today. Before we get into it, I want to acknowledge our super chatters here. Guys, thank you so much. Let me see here. I have LAPD Squad.
Hey.
Yes, says the elites don't care. Summit of the...
Yeah, I'm going to back this up so you can see deranged Joy Reid before we break out. Let's see.
Talking about how good Trump has been for America when he was in office. Here comes Joy Reid, and she is pushing back against that. So she put out this ridiculous interview regarding that. So take a look here. Here it is.
Take a look here.
Okay.
She had a little bit of trouble. Let me get to the point where she's good. Okay.
In the Black community brings back 500,000.
Let's see. Here we go.
Okay, 1 second.
Elevate her and make this a conversation. On to this. So let's start off with.
Let me refresh this, guys. 1 second.
Yeah, start from the beginning.
Okay. Okay, let me see here.
This claim about Donald Trump's platinum plan.
Yeah.
But what other policies that do you want to highlight that Trump is pushing for his campaign that really showed themselves to you?
I would just focus on the fact that when he did not secure the re-election, there was a platinum plan on the table that he consulted with.
Oops. You couldn't hear it?
We could.
Oh. I don't know what's going on. 1 second. Let me go back out and go back in. Okay. 1 second. Okay, here we are. Give me 1 moment. All right, now here we are.
I feel like I do need to respond to this with some serious since the Jasmine brand decided to, elevate her and make this a conversation. So let's start off with this claim about Donald Trump's platinum plan.
But what other policies that do you want to highlight that Trump is pushing for his campaign that really showed themselves to you?
I would just focus on the fact that when he did not secure the re-election, there was a platinum plan on the table that he consulted with Ice Cube and a couple other prominent Black business owners.
Mm-hmm.
I mentioned it in my speech, but of course the Shade Room didn't post that, so nobody knows about it.
Mm-hmm.
But that increases $500 billion of capital in the Black community, brings back 500,000 jobs, gives incentives to big companies to hire felons. Gives incentives to, of course, there's opportunity zones, which are mentioned, which gives incentives to developers to come and revamp the area. The fact that Trump just has a plan, period, for Black people, and Kamala does not.
Okay, let's talk about it. Here is the platinum plan, and you can see that it was on Donald Trump's 2020 campaign website. That CDN at the top shows this is the old campaign website from 2020. Here's page 2 of it. You can see it in all its glory. It describes some of the things that you heard this young lady talk about regarding Donald Trump's alleged plans for Black America. But I want you to check out on this CNN headline about Donald Trump's proposed plans for Black America. I want you to just take a look here at the date on this article. That is October 7, 2020. That's literally a month before Election Day in 2020. By then, Donald Trump had been president of the United States for nearly 4 whole years. So you're saying he only launched his plan for Black America at the end of his first 4 years? No. What was he doing the other 3.5 years? Did he not have a plan for Black America before that? Please don't say historic funding for HBCUs, because that was passed by the Democratic Congress. And don't say the STEMI also passed by Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer and them. That wasn't Trump. And now I just want to show you Donald Trump's current campaign website. Okay, here we go. It's going to scroll right in front of me right now. Take a look, and tell me, stop me when you see the platinum plan. Just going to keep scrolling. Do you see the platinum plan? Do you see that in his current website? This is his current website. Do you see the platinum plan?
You don't even see anything on Kamala's website. Kamala Harris! The Indian community will not be voting for you.
What I do see, however, is this. Donald Trump's current plan, which is in his current website, where he's showing his policies that he would implement in his second Trump term, cut federal funding for any school pushing critical race theory, radical gender ideology, and other inappropriate racial or sexual or political content on our children.
That's right.
Sounds to me like he wants to ban Black history and anything that looks or smells like the 1619 Project. Is that what you're asking Black folk to be down with? Because I don't think that's the platinum plan. And in addition to that, what you are at.
Yeah, I gotta stop her. The ladies are gonna get into it. Bottom line, I want to end this live real quick. I think we about 14 minutes in. I think maybe no, we a little longer than that. What the hell am I talking about? We about 35 minutes in. I just want to say real quick before I let it finish. He started the opportunity zones in 2017. He helped a lot of impoverished communities with that process. The Platinum Plan was not created fully and exploded to what you saw, the wide range of things that he had planned to do once he came into office for 2020. She's making it sound like he had nothing and did nothing for us the 3 to 5 years or whatever, 3 to 4 years he was in there. So no.
Asking Black voters to support is somebody who has a long history of being accused of flat out racism, specifically against Black people. This is from the Associated Press. The federal government sued Donald Trump and his father's real estate company, which is the same company he runs now. He just runs it without the daddy because the daddy's gone, for allegedly discriminating.
You see how she smiled when she said the daddy's gone? You see how that? Because the daddy's gone. But what she's not going to tell you is that even though he got sued or they got sued, they were never sentenced, convicted, or whatever you call it in that kind of civil suit. They were never hit with a guilty after the suing. Suing, they found it, he didn't have to pay anything, do anything. So they always talk about the suing, but never the outcome. Like, that's why this sham trial he went through, it's all about the theater. It's about seeing him be in the courtroom and get the mugshot for the other thing, and the salivation on getting arrested and being sent to jail through this whole process. So I'm just wanted to say that real quick. What's going on? I wonder, is it me or them? Let's see. I don't know what happened to the sound, right? Well, that must mean I gotta go because it's been on for about 40 minutes. So I'm gonna come back because I can't hear this shit no more.
Like lunch with neo-Nazis.
We can stay.
And pretended he didn't hear it.
Let's back it up.
Okay. So
and tell me, stop me when you see the Platinum Plan. Just going to keep scrolling. Do you see the Platinum Plan? Do you see that in his current website? This is his current website. Do you see the Platinum Plan? I don't see the Platinum Plan. Do you see the Platinum Plan? What happened to the Platinum Plan? What I do see, however, is this. Donald Trump's current plan, which is in his current website, where he's showing his policies that he would implement in his second Trump term.
Oh, great.
Cut federal funding for any school pushing critical race theory, radical gender ideology, and other inappropriate racial or sexual or political content on our children. Sounds to me like he wants to ban Black history and anything that looks or smells like the 1619 Project.
What is she? How's she getting that from that? How the fuck is she getting that from that?
Is that what you're asking Black folk to be down with? Because I don't think that's the Platinum Plan.
No, it ain't the Platinum Plan.
And in addition to that, what you are asking Black voters to support is somebody who has a long history of being accused of flat out racism, specifically against Black people. This is from the Associated Press. The federal government sued Donald Trump and his father's real estate company, which is the same company he runs now. He just runs it without the daddy because the daddy's gone. For allegedly discriminating against Black apartment seekers in the 1970s. Black pastors also accused the New York businessman of stirring racial animus during the Central Park 5 rape case in the 1980s. Native American groups criticized him for making derogatory remarks about tribes seeking to build casinos in the 1990s.
Before I let her continue, the CP5 thing, everybody thought they was guilty. Everybody, the whole world. I'm from the Bronx. I'm from New York. I was there when it happened. Everybody thought they was guilty. Yeah, he took out an ad. He was on it. It wasn't racially motivated. It was whoever it was that he wanted the death penalty for. I know he never apologized. There's something that maybe he needs to do. But I believe that he's not inherently racist. Everybody was around him after that. Oprah, Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, Whoopi Goldberg, Joey Hawk, everybody. They all loved him until he ran as a Republican. Bottom line. So don't let them say, oh, the CP5. They didn't give a damn about the CP5. They didn't care. I believe a lot of the karma that's coming back from, he's going through is coming back from most, probably not apologizing for that, you know. Hey, but he made it through. He's honest. We trust him. Everybody's calling him a liar. Kamala is a liar.
Was also a leading voice of the birther conspiracy that baselessly claimed former President Barack Obama was from Africa and not an American citizen. He's also had like lunch with neo-Nazis and pretended he didn't hear it.
Okay. So I wanted to get to the bulk of it because I wanted to take every accusation she made and go step by step through it. Because this is why this channel and channels like ours is very important, because we want to debunk the lies. We sat and watched Kamala Harris do the CNN interview. She said a bunch of lies. Joy Reid continues to push a bunch of lies. So I want to respond to what she said. Mm-hmm. Okay, so first I want to just get first response to what the whole video. What are your thoughts, Shelley?
Well, my first thought was she automatically equates CRT with Black history. Mm-hmm. I don't even know how she got from the Platinum Plan to Black history. She was a little, I don't know, all over the place. But I really think that something is going on with Joy mentally. I do. It's particularly this last year. She is having a TDS breakdown. That's what I really think.
Right. Yeah, she's nutty. She is nutty. What are your thoughts there, Shelley? I'm sorry, Yana.
She muted.
You're on mute, Yana.
Where she's talking about and let me first respond to what you said, Yana. I agree. That's number one. We should not.
Exactly. I know y'all didn't hear me before. Sorry about that. Basically, it shouldn't be Black people, white people. It should be Americans. This is what the problem is with my people. What I was saying before was the in regards to the Black America, white America. I forgot what she was saying. I lost my point, but I can't remember. But I'm gonna let them talk because I forgot. Go ahead.
Now, if you want to say you're going to you're going to assist a certain, poverty-stricken people, middle class, something like that. But to just refer to people based off of their race is identity politics, and it's something that should not be done. It just shouldn't. All right, that's number one.
It creates division. It creates division across the board for everybody. When you think about how they're working this whole thing out, it's creating division on so many different levels. This hate and that they are pushing, they're pushing it. You see, it's like wild. It's just bugging me out. It's bugging me out.
Let's address her platinum plan stuff that she was saying. First, when Trump was in office back in he was elected in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
In 2018, he signed an executive order aimed at helping economically distressed communities, building off of a provision in his tax cut. Okay, his tax cut law. So the order created a White House panel dubbed the Opportunity and Revitalization Council, Revitalization Council, which was led by Ben Carson. Remember, we all, guys can Google this. And basically it was set up with 13, it was representatives there, right. And it was the opportunity zones. And so it was there to push government resources towards impoverished neighborhoods and things like that. That is what the opportunity zones did. And he did it when he was in office. So the platinum plan that was part of his plan for when he was running for office was just a continuation of what he had already done.
Yep.
Dummy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Shelley. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I was gonna say, first of all, Joy doesn't. She mentioned this date 2020. Well, if the plan was initiated, the law was signed in 2017. Then the opportunity zones came out of that law. You're right. So 2020 would be you would have at least 2 or 3 years worth of data to find out, how the plan is doing, if it's working, if it's in the right direction, things like that. And also in 2020, this is from the U.S. EDA, the Economic Development Administration. And let me tell you what they said, quote, if you go to their page, it says, created by President Donald J. Trump's Tax Cuts and Jobs Act of 2017, the opportunity zones are spurring economic development and job growth in economically distressed communities across the country. So I don't understand why she has this problem with 2020, trying to make it seem as if that was first. No, she's lying. She's supposed to be, I don't know, a journalist, a pundit or whatever. She's trying to mislead you. Yep. Nobody institutes some kind of plan, particularly not in the federal government, at the same year or month, and then all of a sudden you have all this data to say, oh, it's just posted. She's lying.
Yeah, she's lying, and she's trying to misinform. It's a misinformation. Yes, he did put forth the platinum plan, which was part of his re-election plan. That was on his website, but it was something that was a continuation of what he had already done.
At least he had something for us. He didn't say for people of color. He didn't say for mixed races. He said for the African American population. Specific. No one has ever given us a specific anything for any reason at any time.
And he did call it, to as far as the candidacy, he did say something about it was for Black people, whatever. But he was already helping people, impoverished people, and having economic hardships. If they were Black, white, yellow, purple, whatever, he was already helping it. And we saw that because we had more money in our pockets during the 4 years when he was in office.
Right.
So she's a liar. And this is what I hope people aren't falling for, these lies and the way that she tries to word this stuff. Okay, I want to move on to something else she said regarding, again, they keep pushing this whole during the Central Park 9 and saying Trump was a racist and that he had what was it? That she said something about this federal government.
I don't know if I muted myself when I talked about the Central Park Five. Central Park Five. Is everybody thought the Central Park Five was guilty. It wasn't racially motivated. The ad that he put out, he just wanted to get whoever it was that created those brutal crimes, and everybody thought they were guilty. I do believe he's facing some karma for not coming back and saying, hey, I made a mistake. He just let it rock. So a lot of the karma that he has faced thus far this time around, I think that has a lot to do with it. At the same time, it's worth giving him a try. It's cackling Kamala or somebody that's done it before, that knows what he's doing and how to get it done. I'm from the Bronx, New York. I was born and raised 30 years, Bronx, New York. He's not racist. He's just somebody that tells the truth to who needs to hear it. And a lot of people don't like it, especially this day and age. Nobody want to be told about themselves. So he's here to help everybody get their stuff together. You vote for Kamala, you vote for them invasion on the streets that we're watching on these cameras.
Sued him for discrimination. They did, but they did not prove their case. They sued, but it was that he was not found guilty of discrimination.
Right.
See, they tell half truths.
Mm-hmm.
This is the platinum plan she was referring to. This was what was on his re-election site. This was part, if he was going to be reelected, this was something he put on here. And let us say, at least he had a website with his information on there.
Right. Exactly.
We can't even go to Kamala Harris's site and find two plan, a gold plan, a silver plan. She don't have any plan on there. So, people, why don't she talk about that? And she mentions that a little bit more in that rant that she does, where she said, even though Kamala Harris doesn't have anything on her website, she knows her plan. She talks about it in her ads. And that's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that Kamala doesn't have anything on her website, like if you were to go to a business.
That's a standard in today's age. Day and age, that is standard. You don't have that, you look like a fraud. Even fraudsters have damn websites.
And you want to check out like what they're about. And you see it not like almost no information on there. And they're asking for donations for some reason. You're going to think it's a scam.
Yeah.
So like that, her website literally looks like a scam website.
Kamala Harris, the Indian community will not be voting for you. What's the homeboy Brando Mino? Yo, check him out. Brando Mino. I think it's Brando Mino something on TikTok. Hilarious.
Certainly does. And there was a political article out last week that mentioned, I don't think she's planning on putting anything on the website. They mentioned that the campaign was actually not going to put up her plan, was going to wait after the election.
What?
And then put something up.
They literally can change anything at this point.
Absolutely.
We're gonna have a Marxist takeover. If they win, it's gonna be like, oh, everything I said was not what I actually meant because the end justifies the means.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah.
absolutely. How can we hold her to account if she won't even put it on her website?
And let me say something about her newsstands on the wall. So all of a sudden she's saying that there should be a wall at the southern border. But what if they really want to take over the control of this country, turn this into some sort of dystopian Marxist country, and the wall is to keep us in?
Yeah.
Right.
Smart.
We can't go anywhere anymore.
Oh, I believe that. You remember these communists, They want us to only drive or live within certain size homes, drive a certain distance. Oh, that is very much, very possibility.
People in the Soviet Union couldn't leave.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
Yeah. I want to acknowledge our super chatters. Guys, thank you so much. Jude says Joyless Reed has a PhD in racism and a gold medal in Victim Olympics. Quite an accomplishment. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Jude.
By, guys.
Jason, Joy Reed is garbage. She is pure trash.
I'm sorry.